Hi, my name is Marty Plecki. I like to work on things, mostly because they interest me or they might save me some money. This time I'm working on this Yukon behind me. We were on a trip to South Dakota, and on the way home it developed a gas leak. Uh, I looked under the car and made sure that where it was leaking from was far enough away from anything that was hot that the drips wouldn't catch fire and burn the vehicle to the ground, which would really be a disaster. Anyhow, we lost maybe 6 gallons on the way home from South Dakota just from drips. And now I'm forced to look at it so that I can find out where the drip is and replace it. I'm going to dive into that right now. I put the front tires up on these blocks. That was a step up to get up there a little bit easier, just so that I could slide under the truck without too much inconvenience. And there's the gas tank. It goes from about the back end of the driver door, well, right to the back axle. I'm going to drop that tank. I made sure that I used up most of the gas before I got home so that the tank didn't weigh a lot. There's the bolt for one of the two straps that hold this tank to the chassis. There's the second strap and there's the second bolt. I looked for the wet spots to determine where the leak is likely coming from. This is the front of the tank here, and you can see a few wet spots there. I think some of that is from migrating gasoline, and there's nothing forward of the end of the tank, so I don't think it's leaking from anywhere up toward the engine. This is the passenger side of the fuel tank, and that's the bracket, and you can see that there's some wetness right there toward the front of the tank. So I'm expecting that the leak is somewhere around here in a tube that delivers gas from the tank to the engine that got abraded and wore through and started to leak. Looking backwards along this tank, it's wet all the way back to the back of the tank. But that's all because of migrating drips. I've got the tank supported here so it doesn't drop down too far when I loosen the rest of the bracket here. This was the fuel line that has a leak in it. I took this end off to learn how it works. And basically what you have to do is push these together, or one at a time like this, and pull it all the way up, and then twist a little bit, and it comes right off the end. So the other side, or the other end of this hose, has the same kind of connector. Now I didn't drop the tank all the way down. I put my arm up along the tank and felt until I got this one undone and pulled off, and then I pulled this right out. It's very easy. But here's the leak right there. So there's wear here, there's wear all along this, because it jiggles a little bit against the fuel tank, and this wears out in preference to the fuel tank. Of course, this is a whole lot thinner wall, but there's wear here too. You saw how that line is bent. So I went online to find out if Amazon has a replacement, and it does. For $44.88. It'll arrive in a couple of days. And it has the same bends in it, so it will fit. Now I called the dealer to get a part number for it, and the part number is 84200271. But they want $91.82 for it. And then I called the service department to find out how much it would cost. I asked them for a ballpark figure, and I gave them exactly what needed to be done. And you wouldn't believe what he's quoting me here, but he said it's $1,800 to replace this line, and I'm going to do it for, well, probably about 4 hours worth of work and $50 worth of parts. If you get something from this video, pause it before the end. Otherwise, it ends so quickly that you don't get to the thumbs up icon. So pause it now, click the thumbs up, and it would be great if you subscribe to the channel. Here's the new part. And it has all the bends in the right spots. The length is right. This is going to go pretty well. The difference here is this connector is a little bit different than this one, but the tube diameter is the same. Where the old one pushes onto the steel tube, and then this little clip goes down over the flange on the steel tube. This one just pushes on. And to take it off, you got to squeeze this to get the sides past the flange and then pull it off. And where the old part wore a hole just from rubbing against the gas tank, this new one has a protection on it so that that doesn't happen. I'm on the driver's side of the car. This is the frame, this is the gas tank, and this is the new hose or tube. I'm going to snake this thing up here and to the front, and then I'll also snake the back end up there between the frame and the tank, so that this end can slip onto the steel tube coming from the fuel pump. So it's almost in place. To get the end by the steel tube from the fuel pump, I have to snake my arm up this little hole here. You really can't see it all that well, but that's what I'm doing. Yeah, it's very close. Yep, I can feel it. I can't see it, but I can feel it. Well, it's in place right now. I just have to push it on. Well, it just clicked on. I don't know if you heard it or not, and now I'm pulling to make sure that it's really clicked on and it won't come off when the fuel pump turns on and puts pressure on this line. And I can't pull it off, so I think I've got it really well placed. Here's the other end that this new tube goes on. And this is the end of the tube. So I'm going to just click that on right there. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Now all I have to do is Put the straps back on and the car is ready to go. The passenger side of the strap is in place. I'm just lifting the tank up now and swinging the strap in place on the driver's side. Yeah, that's temporary, but it's secure so that the front part won't slide down. And I'm gonna head to the back now and get the back strap on. No drips are found on the gas tank, and more importantly, or equally importantly, no drips are on the floor of the garage or anywhere else. So this was a successful replacement of a tube with a hole in it leaking gas. If you got something out of this video, remember to click the like button, and it would be great if you subscribed. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.